What's it up, baby? You already know it is the big boss out, boss dog K poke through the dope in the talk. This boxing was good with y'all boys. So today I want to talk about how Errol Spence having to fight these mandatories is a win-win situation, and how it further puts Terrence Crawford down. Right? So you got Errol Spence, who's a 147-pound champion, unified champion. He has 3 belts: the BC, IBF, and the WBA belt. Okay? And he just recently came out of a car accident. Okay, he was gonna have a fight announcement, which many believe it probably was gonna be Keith Thurman, right? But a lot of y'all Bud Buddies, because mainly the Bud Buddies, but it's other people, other channels, you know, that are also looking at this mandatory thing as it's a negative for Errol Spence. You know, people saying Errol Spence got to fight Jaron Ennis and you know, and Keith Thurman and then Stanley Honest. He got to fight his mandatories. Well, that further solidifies him as a great fighter. So let's just say he fights Keith Thurman, right? We already know, you already know that particular fight is going to do numbers, okay? It's going to be a big fight. Keith Thurman knows how to sell fights, okay? Plus, there's history, you know what I mean, between the two fighters, okay? There's a lot of history in between the two, right? So, the build-up, you know, as far as the all-access and all that, it's going to be phenomenal. The press conferences are going to be phenomenal. So, everybody going to tune in for this fight, which will be another big fight in boxing, right? Boom. Another notch on Errol Spence belt. So if Errol Spence beats Keith Thurman, you know, that's another notch to solidify him as a great fighter. Okay? Then you got the rising star Jaron Ennis, right? I say Errol Spence, which we all know Jaron Ennis gonna beat that guy, right? So Errol Spence will have to fight Jaron Ennis, right? Great build up. Two great fighters. Jaron Ennis don't really talk that much, so it would just be, you know, a fight that, you know, us pure boxing heads would really like. You know what I'm saying? I don't think the casual fan will come in for this one, only because Jaron Ennis' profile ain't that big yet. It's getting there though. He gonna be big. You know what I mean? But he ain't reached that point yet as far as his business, is his name. You know what I mean? His skills is there, you see it. But if Errol Spence is able to beat Jaron Ennis, that's another notch up over Bud. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, like I say, I think the Keith Thurman fight would be bigger out of the Keith Thurman and Errol fight than Keith Thurman and Ennis. I think the Keith Thurman fight would be bigger. They'll generate more revenue. But to have the young, hungry lion and Jaron Ennis, you know, get this opportunity to fight against Errol Spence. You know, if Errol's able to beat Jaron Ennis, you know, another notch on his belt, right? Then next, let's just say Virgil Ortiz is able to beat Stanley Honest, right? He's gonna be, I think, become the mandatory for Errol Spence. That's an Errol Spence fight. Virgil Ortiz, another prospect, up-and-coming undefeated fighter. That's going to be a big fight in Dallas because Virgil Ortiz is from in and around Dallas, right? So they can put that at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, and that mug going to do numbers. I'm telling you, that mug going to do numbers. So if Errol Spence is able to successfully beat all 3 of them mandatories this year, if he fight 3 times this year, and if he fight twice and then 1 in 2024, that puts him leaps and bounds over Crawford. Who Crawford gonna fight? Who is he gonna fight? That's a hell of a resume for Errol. If he able to fight Keith Thurman, fight Jaron Ennis, fight Virgil Ortiz or even Stanley Honest, because we don't know who's gonna win that fight, but I'm picking Virgil Ortiz to beat Stanley Honest. That's a hell of a, you know what I'm saying? that right there. I don't know what to say. And regardless, if Errol Spence, let's say Errol Spence beat Keith Thurman, but he fight Boots Henderson and he lose, still make Errol Spence, you know what I mean? Or Errol Spence beat Keith and Boots, and then he fight Virgil or Stadiums and he lose to them. That's still a win-win situation. Win, lose, or draw is a win-win. Why? Because Errol Spence is not afraid to risk his own. He getting in there with top talent like he been doing. I don't understand how y'all can sit there and try to say, oh, Errol Spence is ducking when the nigga fighting killers. He fighting fights that he could lose. I don't understand that, bro. You know what I mean? Like, now granted, the only way he don't have to fight these fights, you know, is if, I think with Boots, he got to vacate the IBF belt. I think Errol just going to end up fighting Boots. That's just what it is. And, you know, Boots said the same thing. I think Errol just going to end up fighting Boots. You know what I mean? Errol ain't going to duck no smoke. You know what I mean? Like that. It ain't happening. I think Errol going to end up fighting Boots. You know, but Errol really can do what he wants. You know? I think that option still is out there if Errol and his team can petition to allow him to fight Terrence Crawford. You know what I mean? The problem is, I don't know if they were granted because Terrence Crawford, you know, I think they wanted Errol Spence to start fighting his mandatories last year. And, you know, Errol, I think Errol and his team probably, I got to double check on that, probably petition, hey, let me get this unification fight, this undisputed fight, you know, with Terrence Crawford. In which we got to keep it 1,000. I'm going to drop another video talking about this. I think Terrence Crawford is hoping that Errol Spence lose to one of these dudes. That's what I think. I'm going to drop a video explaining, really going into detail on how I feel in my opinion, right? All I'm going off of is the actions of Terrence Crawford in that video. There's like, you know, ain't no articles out there, nothing, right? For that. I'm just going off what I seen from that man and, you know, just how he moving. You know what I mean? But Errol Spence is in a win-win situation, in my opinion. I feel like he fight Keith Thurman. That's a big fight. That's gonna be a big fight that everybody want to see. He fight Boots Ennis. That's a big fight. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be as big as like Keith. You know, the Keith Thurman fight, but that's a big fight. You know what I mean? Like Errol Spence is in a win-win situation. The question is, who is Bud gonna fight? That's a top talent because he still ain't fighting them boys. He still ain't fighting no top talent. You know what I mean? He still ain't getting in there with dudes that are elite, that are killers. He ain't doing that. You know what I mean? I'm seeing people in the comment section, they talking about he might fight Alexis Rocha. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay. Now, Alexis Rocha is that fighter that punished Blair Cobbs, right? But Alexis Rocha lost to Speedy Rashidi Ellis, okay? But at the end of the day, I don't understand why Crawford keep getting these passes. He not fighting killers, bro. And until he fight a killer, you know, or killers, because he got to go through a series of killers, he's gonna forever be the B-side to Errol. This is why Errol Spence is looked at as the best welterweight, because he continues to fight top talent. Like I said, if Errol get in there and he fight Keith Thurman, he fight Boots Ennis, then he go fight the winner of Virgil Ortiz or Stanionis. and he's able to beat all of them, it's nothing else to say. It's nothing else to say. You know what I mean? But y'all let me know what y'all think. Boss, go.